What is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another Home Arcade podcast or Console Kids podcast or whatever we want to call it this week. But today we have a special episode. This is a special episode. We're going to be talking about arcade pickups that I got this week because I went to an auction yesterday and the auction was just incredible. It was very small. There wasn't a lot of people there. And there also wasn't a lot of games there this year. Now, I've gone to this auction several times in the last few years. And this is by far the best deals I have ever seen. And I'll be revealing tonight what I got. Now, if you saw the thumbnail, it has a list of some of the top-end, most popular arcade games that were there. Now, I didn't win all of them, but you'll be surprised which ones I did win. Now, you're probably asking, Justin, I thought you only do Arcade 1-Up. Well, I own a lot of arcades, actually. I have a garage that's filled with full-size arcades, and here in my basement I have a PlayChoice 10, a Pac-Man Cabaret, and a Satari Eagle Cabaret that I absolutely love. I have arcade 1-Ups behind me. I have arcade 1-Ups. I'm not prejudiced towards any type of arcades. I love them all. In fact, I sold some arcade 1-Ups at the auction, which we'll be talking about, and I've also bought the Golden Tee. So I'll kind of tell you my philosophy when it comes to buying arcades and arcade 1-Ups, how I feel about buying them, and all of that. So we're going to get into it. Thank you so much for joining those that are in the live chat. Now I did like no preparation on this. I almost did not go live, guys, because you may have noticed that this whole show is 1 hour off. And it's because I was planning on canceling it. I woke up super tired, sore throat, but I'm feeling better. I think I can do the show. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do the auction because that's what I failed last time. Last time I went to an auction, I did the podcast like a month later. Come on, just do it. Get it over with. You want the content, let's just do it. Okay. I love this song. This is my new theme song, right? Let's just make it official. This is my theme song. Anyway, so we're going to be going through, let's see. We're going to be going through some of these auction items, and I'm going to try to make this enjoyable for you. Yeah, drink some beer, hang out. We'll get to some of the arcade 1-Ups that I sold, why I sold them. It's just a feel-good time. I also want to talk about the philosophy of buying and selling arcades. If you have room for full-size arcades or arcade 1-Ups, you'll eventually run out of space. So my new thing is when you buy something, try to categorize it of how long you're going to own it. Think about it. This is kind of an interesting thing. There are some things in your lifetime that you're going to buy, and some of them you're going to pass down to your children, but it's not everything you own. It's probably a very small portion of what you own is so incredibly valuable to you that you're going to pass it down to your children, right? So those are at the top. And then at the very bottom are things that you buy and then you probably turn around and sell or throw away, right? Those are like consumable items. Somewhere in between are these arcade 1-Ups and the full-size arcades. And if you accept that you may only own some of these for a limited amount of time because you're going to resell them at the next auction, that allows you to pick these up for a while. It's almost like you're renting them. And when you get a good deal, a really good deal, like I did tonight, that means when I resell it, I'll most likely get my money back, if not more. And doing some restorations will be fun as well. Okay, so that's my, don't hate on me because I'm sitting here bragging like as if I have a ton of money. I don't have a ton of money. I'm borrowing money to buy things, and then I'm going to resell them later. But how long will I hold on to them? That's the question. Okay, so let's jump right into it. My daughter, Evelyn, she took all these pictures. She absolutely had so much fun at the auction. And in fact, I'll kind of show you if I can. No, I can't really show you. But she made a spreadsheet of everything, all the prices. So I have all the prices, the price list, and we'll go through the most exciting things. So there's this claw machine, and it was okay. Let's kind of jump through. This is the claw machine that I wanted. I wanted this claw machine, and we talked about it. We said, okay, what would be a really good deal for this claw machine? Now, in the chat, maybe you can join in on some of the fun. What would you pay for this claw machine? And this one, I'll go ahead and reveal the price pretty early. In my head, this thing was in tip-top shape. Let me kind of come back. See if it'll play again. Can I play it? Come on, play for me. I'm just like screen sharing my iPad here. So Garage Gamer, he's saying $600. Yeah, Harold, $500. So that's what I was thinking. If this went for like $500, it's a steal. This thing's in like perfect shape, right? It's kind of fun, you know, like the joystick on it is so good. It's like better. It's like a shame that the arcade 1-ups don't have as good of a joystick as that's on this claw machine. Anyway, so I thought $500. It went for $13.50, probably because it's really good. So no deal there. Some of the things I want to say went for, maybe we call it retail, and other things went for a really good price. So this is all the candy on there. They kind of made a joke that was like, we don't know how old the candy is, so that's at your own risk, right? These things I think went for $25. My daughter was like, I missed out on that because I was chatting with some people, and those little the candy things that are on a stand, that was a pretty good deal for $25. So they had this Atari cabinet here. This was what's it called? I never had seen it. I didn't end up playing it. They had a Cruis'n Exotica right over there. Only one screen worked. So this was what I felt like to be the biggest, the best, coolest cabinet of the night, which was a Road Blasters, and it actually worked, right? Like, it was in, let's see if I can show you the shape. I got some more pictures of it, but Road Blasters work. You sit down, and I'd never played a sit-down Road Blasters before. I remember playing the stand-up one when I was a kid, but I don't think I ever got into like this cockpit one. It needs some cosmetic work, but this one went for a steal. We're going to talk about that price as well. So this is Road Blasters. These are the arcade 1-ups that I sold. And so this is the 12-in-1. You know, the 12-in-1 that would normally be behind me. I packed that sucker up and I took it to the auction. And I also sold my Space Invaders complete in box that I got for $50. I'll go ahead and tell you. The Space Invaders I sold for $200. Now, I've seen some people sell arcade 1-ups like a Space Invaders for a lot more, but $200 for someone else that really wanted the Space Invaders, I think that's a cool deal for them. And the Asteroid Centipede 12-in-1, this one, yeah, the unicorn is gone. This one's gonna hurt, guys. Asteroid Centipede that's on the right there, that's mine. Notice how it's got Glenn's spinner in it, and it's got his trackball in it. This went for $200. Now, I could have bid against myself, and this auction allows you to do a buyback, which I think I've never done, but it's like $15. So, like, if you win your own auction, you don't have to pay for it, and you don't have to pay all of the fees. You just pay like this $15 is what they said, but I never tried it. But I was in a position where I had to leave it because the vehicle I was in and all the stuff by this time I knew that I'd bought, I couldn't take it back with me. So I just kind of let it all happen. But hey, altogether, I had $480 in cash, right? For everything that I sold there, because I also sold a little Galaga countercade. So put it all together, Galaga countercade went for $80. And I thought that was pretty good. That was one of those deals I got. I think I got it for like $80 or $50 or something. Double Dragon. Okay, what do you guys think this went for? This Double Dragon. I'll give you the answer right now. This is not one that I picked up. Let's see. Double Dragon. Let's see. They had a Donkey Kong Jr., Space Invaders in box. Let's see. Double Dragon. $400 for this Double Dragon. I should have got it. Look at this double dragon for $400. There was a guy there afterwards. He was beating himself that he didn't get it because it was in really good shape. Then they had this Crystal Castles. And it also, let's see what the Crystal Castles went for. $600 for the Crystal Castles. Was in pretty good shape. Let me show you Lewis Chambers that's in the chat there. He says that Crystal Castles, you can't really see it, but it was mostly in good shape. But on the right-hand side, it was kind of like this little crack in it, but just by the control panel. It wasn't a big deal. Like you could pop Bondo or patch it up, but it was mostly really good. Both the Double Dragon as well. Then they had the Dig Dug. I wanted this. I wanted it so bad. There's a Tetris over there as well that I was also on my list of getting, but I don't think there was too many people. So the Tetris went for $325. I'm telling you, these deals were killer. And then, let's see, Dig Dug, $850. And the reason why it was $850, and I stopped at like $500, the control panel, let's see if I can pause it. That control panel right there, we're going to play it again. Dig Dug for $950, $850 is what it went for. Let's see if I can pause it, okay? I'm going to show you why it was so good. Now, this was a working one. It's just when we captured it, it wasn't plugged in yet. The control panel was pristine. It had the volcano buttons. It was in really good shape. So there's a lot of bidders on it knowing it's just like ready to go. Okay. Zaxxon. Now, Zaxxon, this one was incredible. Absolutely incredible. Let me look how much it went for. Now, this one pulls on my heartstrings because I got a story with Zaxxon. Basically, my brother had open heart surgery, and I was in the Ronald McDonald House, like this hotel by the hospital, and they had Zaxxon there. So there's a handful of cabinets that I played a ton because I almost basically lived at Ronald McDonald House for a couple months. And so JJ is saying the Zaxxon went for $1,100. It's beautiful condition. If you take a look at it, like the only cosmetic damage is right there in the control panel right there. And technically the joystick, right? So I've been getting a little bit better at these auctions. Like you start writing down all the flaws and you kind of add up in your head. Is it really worth it? Because the hype can get there. You'll get into the hype and you'll bid. Next thing you know, I've done that. And I bought a cabinet. It's in really poor shape because I just, I didn't see it. So the joystick was kind of worn out, but it's like, it's not too bad. It worked great. It's fully functional. The marquee was great. The CRT was great. Let's see, what did this one end up going for? Let me look real quick. So these are listed in a weird way. It was $400 for the Zaxxon. The Zaxxon went for $400. Killer deal. And I got it. That's right. Zaxxon is one that I picked up. It's in my garage right now. $400 at the last arcade. It was $800 and it was nowhere near this shape. And that is just killer deal. And I'm like, I don't need to do anything. I don't need to do anything to this, like the joystick. Nope. I like it the way it is. It feels great. It's got a little bit of worn on it. Like, it's fine. I don't even want to paint it black. And you know what? This cosmetic, I'm good. The top of it looks great. The marquee is beautiful. $400. Yeah, I'm sorry about the blowing up the speakers. I'm really sorry, but I was literally in my mind going, should I say now or later? Like, screw it. I got it. Okay. There's more, right? And I've actually passed one that I also picked up. So Zaxxon was great. Okay, Mr. Doo-Doo went for like nothing. I did not pick up Mr. Doo-Doo. That just no one wanted that one. It went pretty cheap. Now here's the thing. That guy on the right-hand side. This is the bullseye, right? The bullseye is a double-sided bullseye thing. That was like $1,700. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Zaxxon went for $400. Tetris $325. Dig Dug, great 1,000-mile rally $150. I should have got that. That was in good shape. It's just like a really old game. $125? Wow. I missed that one. I think I was freaking out because I got the Zaxxon. Okay, let's see. Contra. We'll come around to that actually because I think we got pictures on it. Mr. Do $225. Mr. Do was $225. Pretty good deal if you love Mr. Do. It was in decent shape. I just don't think it's a popular. Yeah, Rainwater is like, well, I wanted the Mr. Do. How much did it go for? $225. Yeah, they were killer deals at this auction. So these were these capsules. They were just selling them by the box. So they're talking about the capsules. I was like, what are you talking about capsules? It's the prize. You know, the prize, the little bauble thing that you put the toys in. These are just the empty capsules. In an entire box of like 1,000 of them, or I don't remember how many. They went for $1. And people are like, that's actually a really good deal. They had these things. I didn't really pay attention to them, but this big signage or something like that. They're somewhere in the list. Actually, I think my daughter didn't copy these now. We were like chatting during this part. We're like, that's fine. We don't have to document that one. They have these marquees. Okay, so right next to these marquees, I didn't know this. Right next to the marquees, they actually had PlayChoice 10 cartridges. And I got them. I also got those. So I own a PlayChoice 10, which I mentioned earlier. And in the bag was these different PlayChoice 10s. Now, a PlayChoice 10 cartridge itself, $100 easy retail at eBay, right? That's pretty much pretty much what it would go for. I've been able to pick up a PlayChoice 10 cartridge for about $65. Let's see if I can zoom in to focus. So this one is Russian Attack. I think I've got Russian Attack. That's a kind of a cheaper one, maybe $80, maybe. But that was like pre-pandemic prices. This one is a good cart. I think it can go for about $150. Let's see. The big reveal of what it is. My autofocus isn't working well. Let's see. Come on, focus. 5, 4, 3. Okay, it's worth it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's a good cart. All right, so I'm not going to make you go through that again. The next one is Baseball Stars. I have no clue how much Baseball Stars is worth. I'll look that up. I don't know. And so in my head, when I saw just random carts and Double Dragon, and I also don't have Double Dragon. I think out of all of these, I think Russian Attack is my only duplicate. So in my head, I thought 4 carts, $400 easy. $220 is what I paid for it. To me, that's a good deal, right? It's like 50%. Like I could flip it and double my money. And so that's what I'm talking about when you find these deals. You think to yourself, how much could you resell it if you wanted to resell it that day? And how much could you get it for? So I thought that was a good deal. I was kind of like going up and down on those prices. So there's the PlayChoice. You can kind of see them there. There's the Galaga countercade that I sold. And then these marquees. I can't remember what they went for. I think we documented them. It was kind of confusing because they basically said, and this was cool. I didn't see this before at other auctions, or I guess I wasn't paying attention. And how it worked was the person that bid on them, let's see, 4 cartridges, stack of marquees, $80. The next stack of marquees went for $100, and then the last stack of marquees went for $40. And so how they did it was the first person got first pick, and then anyone else, he could buy all of them at that $80 price if he wanted to. But then they ended up bidding the next one. So there's my Galaga countercade, and that one sold for $80. That is pretty good. Okay, so then there was these. It was kind of cool. We got a super chat from Hobby Hands. Appreciate the support. And he says, looking forward to the replay. I was unable to spend much time with my kids. Yeah, dude, kids, family first, for sure. And this is the only time right now, but I'll watch later. Thank you so much for the support. I really appreciate it. I'll try to make it enjoyable in the replay as well for you, Hobby Hands. Let's see, how much for the carpet? Yeah, so this is kind of like the front side. It's kind of has all these Mega Touches. So the Mega Touches kind of varied. A really nice Mega Touch went for like $500, and the one that didn't work went for like $65. And then they had these magic shows. Those were like $200 or $300 each. Let's see. I don't think we caught how much this one was. This was kind of this death row area. And so I didn't really follow. This is like one of those shooters. It was really, really cool, but it wasn't in like sniper. Maybe I should have taken a better look at this one. I just wasn't interested in it. I think it's cool. I didn't spend much time on this side of the arcade. So this is kind of their death row, they called it. Is an entire row of cabinets that were just broken. There's a hang-on. A lot of them went for really cheap. All the death row stuff went for a couple $100. There was a virtual cop in that death row that wasn't supposed to turn on, but it did turn on, and it went for $400. So they had these little guys. So keep on going through. Let's see. They had this Asteroids, and Asteroids went for $375. I did not pick that one up, but $375 for an Asteroids. In a pretty it wasn't flawless. I think last time there was a flawless Asteroids, and it went for like $800. This one needed a little just cosmetic work, but this is that Tetris. Let's see. They had a Toy Shock. So they had a Toy Shock, and I know the guy that bought it. He actually used to work for iArcade, but he was there hanging out doing he was like a contractor for iArcade, and whenever there was an iArcade event here in Des Moines, that guy was there. I can't remember his name, but we chatted a lot, and he actually picked up the Toy Shock. I kept on calling it Toy Shark when I was talking to him. I think he paid $220. And I kept on making fun of him because he was like, so he was regretting buying it for sure. He was like, this was a bad purchase. What am I going to do with it? He said he lives with his mom, and his mom's going to be really mad and stuff like that. So that was really interesting. So here is a really good shot of, where am I at? Here's a really good shot of the Road Blasters. Okay. Are you guys, no, it wasn't Jong. It was this other guy. What do you guys think of the Road Blasters? Tell me in the chat how much you think this Road Blasters went for, okay? So we got this Road Blasters fully working. Let me get the price ready for you while it's fully working. CRT's in good shape. I sat down. The yoke felt great. I'm turning it. All the buttons on the yoke work. Now, keep in mind, that yoke, this is Atari. That yoke is kind of like, it froze up on me. Hold on. I freaked it out. All right, this is going to take a second to repair, guys. This is a weird setup. So, in the chat, start telling me what you think the Road Blasters went for. And then I'll talk about, how much I thought it went for or would go for. And then I'll reveal the price. Because it's gonna blow you away when I reveal it. Let's see. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. So I'm just trying to fix this. I got a really janky setup for sharing screen on this. And, okay, so we got the prices. Zod Rider with the $500. We got Harold with an $800. 19K Fox, $4,000. That's a little high. We got Robbie with $1,500. Let's see. What is this one? What's his name? I don't know. Rajos, $1,149 is what he thinks the price went for. $1,500. Alfred Berger, he's like, I think it went for $300. And the reason, Alfred is absolutely correct. 100% correct. And I still don't have the HDMI working, but it went for $300. You know why I know it went for $300? Because I got Road Blasters. That's right. So Road Blasters went for $300. Could not believe it. Immediately, I was texting Ralph. I was like, dude, you will not believe. Oh, I was telling him. I was like, you won't believe about this, the Road Blasters they have there. And he was like, dude, it's too big. You can't get it. You can't buy something that's big like that, right? And I was like, okay, yeah, I'm not going to get it. It's totally going to go for $1,000. Totally going to go for $1,000, if not more. But again, what was really interesting about this auction is that, what's really interesting about the auction is not a lot of people were there, right? There was only a certain set of people that were at the auction, and a lot of them, I talked to them later. I talked to them like, what do you do? This was another great event for me because what I was doing was I was really networking with people like I'd never done before. I was coming up to people and I was like, hey, where are you from? Are you a collector? Or are you, do you own an arcade? And a lot of them were actually arcade owners. And so I got to meet some of them. I got business cards to them. Some of them were like, oh, you do YouTube? I was like, yeah, I do YouTube. And they're like, why don't you come out and hang out with me? We'll do some stuff together. And so that was kind of fun. So I managed somehow to be able to, while talking, switch over to a completely different setup here. So I'll be able to show the photos this way. Let me get this sound turned down so it doesn't distract me. So we got a couple different things. Let's see. That's the Dig Dug. Let's kind of jump through this here. We'll come back to there's the Road Blasters there. And yeah, it needs some work, guys. It definitely needs some work. So you can kind of take a look at it. The top needs cleaned, right? And then the bottom there needs cleaned up. But let's see if I can kind of jump. We'll get to it. There's a video of my daughter playing it at the end of the video. We'll get there. She was just having a blast for sure. Let's see. Then we had. Let's see if I can kind of full screen this. There we go. So this is kind of another glance at they had this pool table. The pool table went for a pretty good price. Let's kind of jump through these real quick. There's the carpet. There we go. They had the NFL Blitz. NFL Blitz. This is this row. The Contra was there. That was like $50, which is actually a pretty good deal later. They had this kangaroo that was in pretty good shape. A Wonder Boy. And I was blown away by the NFL Blitz and how much the NFL Blitz went for. So hold on for that. Let me pull up the price for NFL Blitz. And where is it? Blitz went for $450. $450 for the Blitz. Yeah, some people are you know, I would assumed like Zod, like I would assume $700 at the last auction. Blitz did go for, I think I want to say 800 or 1,000. But this one went for $450. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing deal there. Maybe some of the arcade dealers that were there, they just didn't really want to like, because it had like kind of the artwork on the side. But I don't know, man. Like CRT was good. You can, redo the artwork, but the cosmetics were good. Maybe they just didn't want to carry it back. Let's see. So let's go into the next one. So this is like the kangaroo one. I wasn't really interested in the kangaroo. It went for $420. And then, yeah, the Contra had bad quality. That little, they had this little cocktail on the right there. That went for $100, but it was like Death Row. It was like CRTs all messed up. They had these CD things I wasn't interested in. Here is the, this is Road Blasters, and I don't remember if at this point I knew I owned it. I can't remember. But yeah, I did pick up Road Blasters, $300. We got it home. Evelyn was playing it for like a full hour, and she just loves the game, absolutely loves the game. And when we were checking it out, that was the one everyone was checking out the most, and my daughter was most interested in it and playing it, and kind of everything just kind of felt, came together for me picking up this cabinet. And so I'm looking forward to trying to refurbish it and owning it for a while. And that's me. I was thinking about making live streams, and I was testing the camera. It wasn't very good, so I decided not to do that. This is another thing that I picked up. Guess the price in the chat. So this is a Pac-Man cocktail. Now, this Pac-Man cocktail was in beautiful shape. Beautiful shape. It's all original wood. Like the actual cocktail is in really good shape. It does have an LCD in it, but it was a 19-inch LCD. And but the joystick and the buttons and the whole control panel all brand new. Everything inside brand new, 60-in-1. And here's the thing. I'm like you guys, and this is what I've always been looking for. A $400 Pac-Man cocktail, a $300, a $150, a $350. Yeah, that's what you would assume the value of something like this is. In my area, and I talked to Stringer Films, who's also looking for this cabinet. It's like, no, that's not how much they go for. Not one that's near mint condition, okay? Near mint condition at arcade auctions recently for Pac-Man or a Donkey Kong usually go for $1,300. So that's the price that's in my head. And I've seen some go for really low, like the 400 or 300, like you guys are talking about. But they are in horrible condition. So in our area, in my area, in Stringer Films, he agrees with those prices. So that's why I bought it for $775. Because it was like, that's a little rich, right? You might think that's a little rich. But keep in mind, like every other auction I went to, that's a deal, right? And I always wanted to own one, and one that's in really good shape. So if I was going to get one, this is the one to get, right? I did kind of have regrets when I bought it, because I was like, it's a lot of money for just a Pac-Man. But you guys know I love Pac-Man, right? You know I love Pac-Man, so give me a thumbs up, give me some love, right? Like, it's in really, really good condition. Like, like it's tall. It's not like, it doesn't need a riser or anything like that. And yeah, and it was actually light. Doesn't have a CRT. I'm cool with it. I'm good with it, okay? I hope you guys are fine with that. But hey, it's my money, right? We can do what I want with it. They have this golden tea there. I was not buying this golden tea. That thing was huge, really big. But it was like a cocktail golden tea. Let's see. How much did that go for? I don't have that price handy. Magic Show. Let's see. Zaxxon, Tetris, Dig Dug, Double Dragon for $400. Crystal Castle, $600. Mr. Do. I think we're right in that area. Mega Touch, Super Shot, Ticket Stuff and Printer. Big Buck. Yeah, sorry, I don't have it. I don't have it handy. Let's see. This is a clip of the auction. This is them saying what's going on. This is my daughter. She's documenting everything. I just took a little picture of it. This is literally the notes that I'm looking at right now. She did such a great job. There's the Zaxxon that I got for $400. A Tetris I did not buy, but I think it went for $325. Dig Dug, it was like $800 or so. Road Blasters I did get $300. Blitz, these were really good. You can kind of see the Centipede. Now, the last couple auctions had these Centipede and Donkey Kong. Let's see if we have another picture of it. Double Dragon. There's that Pac-Man. Sharp. Looking real sharp. There's the Space Invaders I sold for $200. There's my Asteroid Centipede, went for $200. This is the Donkey Kong Jr. Great shape, went for $14.50. I did not buy it, but that was I've seen it at a lot of different auctions, and that's it looks really nice. Let's see what else we got here. Some of the things went for really cheap. So $350 for that guy. Wonder Boy went for $275 for the Wonder Boy. This Contra, which is I think is a Pac-Man, $50 in horrible shape. You can kind of see that. This thing, $35, And then finally Blitz for $450 on this row of cabinets. It's kind of just running through. Road Blasters, what a deal. $300. What a spectacular find and deal. Let's see. I think this is me running through it real quick at the end of the auction. And then we got, this was a good deal. $150 for the Cruisin' USA. Big Buck Hunter for $250. I'm telling you, these were great prices. Zaxxon, $400. Come on. That's a good deal. It's like half off. Tetris, $325. Can you believe these prices? Let's see. What's up with everyone in the chat? Who is this guy talking anyway? Yeah. I'm telling you, like, this, my stream is sometimes different. It's not super chatty. I think maybe that's what he's talking about. It's because they're just watching. They're just, look at that Double Dragon. Look at this Crystal Castle. $600. $600 for the Crystal Castle. Mr. Do. What was it? $225. This guy, which was really cool, wasn't going to be on $1,700. Wow. And then there were a couple pinball games in here. So that's the haunted house, and that guy that's next to the. This is really funny. This is hilarious, right? So the guy that's kind of helping right there, he used to work for iArcade as a contractor. This is the auctioneer, and he's sitting here helping out with the auction, and then he starts bidding on it, and he got it for, I think it was $220. No, $210. $210. Went for $210. So there you go. Virtual Cop 2 went for $400. This is that $100 other countercade, or yeah, like whatever, not a countercade, whatever, the cocktail, but it needed work. $5 for this junk. Didn't work at all. There's the Road Blasters again. Cruisin', a different Cruisin', $385. What was this? A Cruisin' USA that didn't work or something? That was just a picture I took. This is them unloading it to my house. That's the Zaxxon. I think that's all I took. And then this is us playing it at home. I'll talk a little bit about how I got this all to my home, which is a newfound thing for me. Just, I don't know why I didn't think of this before, but we had Road Blasters in my garage that day within a couple hours. And it's because I talked to people. I got to know them. What's your name? What's going on? How could I help with this arcade, right? So it was a lot of fun, and let me tell you exactly what happened. So what happened was, there's a lot of like sad things that happened. The auctioneer that was previously there, that usually did the auction, he passed away. So there was that. There was the replacement auctioneer, and then the guy that actually owns the auction, he was in the hospital, right? So there was that, and then like his crew and his family were doing all of the auction. They were doing the best they could with the circumstances that they had. I don't think that had anything to do with the prices. The prices were just basically the time of the season. And I also learned that, at least in our area, check in your area for these auctions. Auctions, what I learned, what they told me was, in springtime, the auctions during springtime, that's where the deals are. And then the auction at the end of the year, like November, things go for a really high price. So as a seller, you can kind of get a little bit more money at the end of the year. The other things that I learned was I talked to them. I was like, could you guys do a pickup or drop off for me? And they're like, yeah, $50 delivery. That's it. Even the Road Blasters, $50 to deliver it. They delivered the Road Blasters to my garage for $50. It's because I asked, like, hey, could you handle this for me? And they're like, yeah. So then when the guy was there, I was like, what about next time we do an auction, right? Next time in November when there's an auction, I have a Neo Geo, and I've had it for a while, and I'm going to do a little bit of work on it this summer. I'm going to play it, but I'm not taking it down to my basement because I'm going to be selling my Neo Geo. Had it long enough at the next auction in November, which supposedly they go for higher prices. But Neo Geo Big Red is huge. It's really, really big, and I don't want to deal with the pickup. So the guy, he's kind of like running the auction. He's like, yeah, you want to do a couple arcade pickups? I'll come with my truck. He has this, you saw it, right? He has got this really long trailer. It's super easy for him to get things in there. Like the trailer is like, has a ramp, and it's like, boom, you roll it right in. You're done. $50. He'll pick up my cabinets for $50. Like before, I don't have a truck. Like I'd have to get a U-Haul. Before it's always been minimum $100, right? And so that's my plan. Yeah. What's going on, Nick? I wanted, literally, Nick, I know you were thinking about coming to the show or coming to the auction. Like, I made this video for you, Nick. I made this video for you. Like, you weren't able to make it to the auction, so I'm trying to bring you to the auction. And I don't want you to feel bad because you couldn't make it, but this is the next best thing. And so, Nick, I was able to get some killer deals. You know, the Road Blasters for $300. Cockpit was great. Zaxxon for $400. I got these 4 PlayChoice 10 carts for $220, and I got a near mint condition with a 19-inch CRT and a 16-1 in it. Pac-Man cocktail. I love it. $775. It's a more expensive unit, but relatively, it's a great price. So those are the 4 items that I bought at this auction, and I met a lot of cool people. It was kind of an interesting auction because this is the first time I've ever in Des Moines came out, and I was at this auction, and a handful of people came up and they're like, hey, I subscribe to your channel. And I was like, that's really cool. It was really, really cool to meet people. And I didn't really know what to do because I'm like, someone notices me and they're basically a stranger. And I was puzzled for a second. And I was like, oh, hey, what's your name? And we chatted and we had a really good time because you know what? The people that like this show and subscribe to the show, if I meet them in person, they're going to have similar tastes than me. We had great conversations. We were talking about all the things going on in the community. It was really, really cool to meet people. So it was kind of like a special event for me. Yeah. And I'm definitely going to still buy arcade 1-ups. Like I will buy arcade 1-ups. I'll buy real arcades. In my head, they're kind of like two different, they're kind of the same hobby. You know what I mean? But the resale value of the full-size arcades seem to maintain. Like, it's almost like you can buy the full-size arcades, and if you have an area, like an auction in your area, you can buy them, keep them for a few years, and then resell them. So that's what I was saying at the earlier part of the show that I want to convey to you. This kind of this new thought that I had, and the new thought is this, right? There are things that you buy in your lifetime, very few of them, that you're going to keep for the rest of your life. In fact, they are so precious to you, you'll probably want to hand them down to your children, like physical items. There's only a handful of those, right? And then there's a ton of things that you buy that are just HDMI cables that you buy and they don't really have much value to you at all, but whatever. You may throw them away the next day, whatever. In between, there's all these different categories. So here's what I thought. Arcades, full-size arcades, and even arcade 1-ups fall under this category. I'm going to talk this way now. Fall under this category where you're like, how long are you going to own this individual cabinet? And for me, it's a couple years. So in 2018, I bought this Asteroid Centipede 12-in-1, but now I got a Tempest. The Tempest basically replaced that one. I enjoyed that for several years. This is the beginning of my channel. My YouTube channel is a part of my hobby. I talk about things that I like, and it's kind of part of it. And so I buy and sell different things that are out there, and full-size arcades are a part of that as well. And I'm lucky enough, and I didn't know about this 3 years ago, that here, even in Des Moines, Iowa, which is like not a very big metropolitan area. So wherever you live, like go check this out and see. Go learn. Go talk to, go to that retro gaming shop. That's what I'm going to do. I want to go meet the owner of JCD and Hobby, which is a place that sells retro games that's still alive and still thriving here in Des Moines. I want to meet that guy and talk to him and be like, what else is going on in Des Moines that I don't know about? When I was at this arcade, I learned a ton because I started talking to people and just saying, hey, what do you do? This one guy went on and on about how many new arcades there are here in Des Moines that I had no clue. And he started listing them. And he's like, you got to go check this one out. This brand new one, they spent $2 million on arcades. And it's insane. And he's like, I know the guy. The guy's making bank every single month, in fact. And he started talking to me about how they have a new token system that's like the card swipes, and it uses points instead of quarters and dollars. And it increased the revenue by like 40%. And I'm like, this is super interesting stuff, right? So by talking to people, by getting to know people, you start to realize that even in Des Moines, which I thought had zero retro stuff just 5 years ago. And I'm like, wait, Old School Gamer magazine is here in Des Moines. What the heck? Twin Galaxies is like a couple miles, it's like whatever, 100 miles away, right? Like even middle of nowhere, Iowa's got some hopping stuff. So if you live, I don't know, Pittsburgh or something like that, I bet there's a community out there maybe you don't even know about. Go figure it out. Go talk to people. When I started talking to these people, they're unveiling all these things that I didn't know. And now I feel like I'm a little closer to this local community. I'm going to just try to share this philosophy with other people as well. Amazing time. And that's how I was able to pick up the deals. It's because I started to tune in to all these things that are happening locally and was able to find some pretty good deals. And another great deal that I found was a way to solve the problem of picking up the arcades physically. Right? I'm getting old and I don't have a truck. What, I got to spend tens of thousands of dollars on a truck now because I want to sling around arcades? But for me, I found a guy that'll do it for me for $50. Great deal for me. Just a great deal, right? All right, guys. So I've hyped up this this way too long of a live stream. I hope you enjoyed the excitement that I'm trying to give to the community about the local pickups that I have. If you guys want, I'll try to do a breakdown video of all of the arcades that I got, one by one. Maybe I'll take you through the process of me refurbishing the Road Blasters. I'm new at this, but I'm going to have to do it, right? Because it needs to be fixed. It needs to be cleaned up. But in no way does this mean my channel is shifting all the way to full-size arcades and that's it. No, you'll see me every week still talking about Arcade 1-Up, Home Arcade, AtGames, Arcade. I'm going to talk about it all. I may even start covering videos in handhelds. I got an entire video set up over there, multicam, to be able to show you some of the latest and greatest ways to be able to play video games with your hands, with a screen. I'm going to do that too. Why not? Just do it all. Love you guys. Hit like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys. Hold on. We gotta end with the theme music, right? We'll see you guys in the next video. Say goodbye, and I'll shout you out. All right, Rob. Refurbishing, yes. Mandy getting serenaded. That's right. Justin, your game room looks naked. It does. We're gonna fix that. Papow. How do you get free Road Blaster t-shirts? Yeah, I know. I'll learn more about that. I gotta write that stuff down. There's other cool things that I want to document in it. There's a ton of straws in my Road Blasters. We got to figure out why, how to get them out. There's literally like dozens of straws in my Road Blasters. Like straws from a movie theater. What movie theater did this Road Blasters come from? Come on. Thanks, guys, for the congratulations. Jay Reed, have a good week. Have a good one. Thanks for the stream. Novasonic23. Jason, thank you so much for coming out on the stream. Good night. Definitely would love to see a video of the individual arcades you got. Thank you so much. 97 Balls. He's like, awesome show, man. Thank you so much for coming and hanging out. T Slayer, later. Congrats on Zaxxon, dude. I love the That's the one I'm going to bring down. I got to bring that down. I'm going to keep her. That's a keeper. That's a keeper. So that one's a little long term. I may get rid of it, but I'm saying 5 to 10 on that one. 5 to 10 years on that. AOL 101, thank you so much for the congratulations. People drink a lot of Cokes when they play Road Blasters. There's the answer. There you go. Later, bud. Don't forget to check out 19K Fox. I think his show, is it 15 minutes, right? In 15 minutes? Because I went a little bit closer to you. I think so. I think you go live in 15 minutes. So, fun stream tonight. Thank you so much, JJ, for all your support and being a member. Really appreciate all the support. You're super encouraging, man, JJ. Well, half the reason why I go live is because how encouraging you are. Individually. Yeah, peace, brother. Thank you so much, everyone, for hanging out. Yep. Alfred Berger, have a good one, buddy. How did you know? How did you know it was $300? How did you know? Were you there? Were you there, brother? All right, Harold, see you. Figure that out. All right, 19K Fox, everyone go hang out with him. Ralphie, Arcades for life. Robbie, thanks. Love the stream. I'm glad you loved it, man. Try to make it enjoyable. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the love and support that you give to me in this channel. I'll try my best to keep on doing these fun live streams for you. Got to check out all my buddies as well. They make great content as well. We just try to be encouraging to the community. That's right, Alfred Berger. He's always looking. There we go. Let's see. Happy for you, sir. Keep in mind, after he sees this video, he's going to raise his prices a few $100 inflation. You know, happy for you. Let's see. Amazing job. Thanks, man. D-Slayer. Please do a Zaxxon video. I will. It's got a manual. We got to take a look at that manual. Super excited. Stringer Films. It's over. It's good. You should watch it back. I break down the entire auction. Come back. Watch on the replay. It's exciting. I kept it at 11. I tried to keep it at 11. There's some good cabs that I picked up. You'll have to check out this stream. Anyway, that's all the time I have for you. I'm going to end the stream, so all those that are currently in the stream that missed out can rewatch it. But you can also, keep in mind, hit a watch later or something like that, because 19K Fox is doing his Arcade 1-Up weekly show right after this in 15 minutes. Hit that watch later now, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.